So kama you don't have a clear picture of what you want and what it is that you want money to do for you, money will not come and think for you. Money will not come and do things for you and give you desires. Before you can think of having money, you have to have reasons as to why you want money. People who attempt to buy the product of the brain to serve them money and replace their judgment with money become victims of their own inferiority. Somebody else might argue, well, maybe money is not evil, but the love of money is evil and it's the root of all. Yes, so I disagree. Hello everyone, I hope you're doing great. This is Woman Enough podcast. This is episode 7. I am your host Zarila. Here we learn, we unlearn, and we become the best versions of ourselves. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today's episode is very special and it's about money. And we're discussing money as a form of energy. And what inspired me to doing this episode is I am still in the process of doing my inner work and healing and stuff. And something that has really affected me throughout is scarcity mentality. And scarcity mentality is a coping mechanism that your brain comes up with after you have been in situations where you've been disappointed a lot of times, especially in things involving money. So kama ulikuwa unataka vitu kila saa alafu unazikosa, you might develop, as a kid, you might develop scarcity mentality. And this usually shows up in somebody buying something less quality because the more quality one is more expensive, you know. It's things like those that point to the fact that you have scarcity mentality. And so because maybe I had scarcity mentality, I had to configure again my whole relationship with money. And when I was doing so, I came across the money speech, which is made by Francis de Anconia from the book Atlas Shrugged, right? So it's a monologue that he made. It's set after the World War II, because now then is when the whole situation about money became, you know, real. And conversations were being had about money. And so according to him, like the way he explained what money is, and plus other sources, I got to understand that money is energy. And money is a tool of exchange that cannot exist unless there are good being produced and people able to produce it, okay? And so it's the material principle by which people who wish to deal with each other must trade by, okay? It's value for value. You give me something, I give you something. There was something called barter trade, which is before the introduction of money. People, okay, no, not even money, before people started trading with gold and silver and stuff. People used to trade with their own things. Kama I have bread and somebody else has cow milk, I go give them bread, they give me cow milk. If I have beans and somebody else has maize, I go give them maize, I go give them beans, they give me maize. That is what people used to do before. And then it got to a point where people started trading with gold and silver. And then eventually gold and silver was replaced with money, right? And so you can see that it's just like your claim upon the energy of the people who are producing things, especially in this modern era where not all of us are producers. Again, money is something that you should see as a payment for your effort. It's not something that should define who you are, at whether niko na pesa or not, and then that tells that I am this person or I am this person. No, money is something that is supposed to facilitate something. It is a tool for exchange. You exchange what you have for the products that other people have, right? So, as I said, money is your claim upon the energy of producers on a single daily. Every day you wake up and you hold on to the belief that somebody somewhere is not going to default the chain. Because imagine if somebody, like imagine if somebody who produces, let's say, bread, and stops producing bread today, there is a demographic that is going to suffer the consequences of that producer not doing their work. And whether they have money or not, they will not have bread. They can't eat their money. They need the bread, right? So what is money in that situation? What is their money? It's they cannot claim anything. They do not have energy to claim anymore, right? And then the human mind is the source of all goods produced. It's the ultimate source of all wealth, right? So, for example, in the money speech, there is this example, right? Like, if people did not start farming wheat kitambo. You see, like, people did farm wheat, and then was it in Mesopotamia? Yeah, I think so. And that is how we are here, that we can make wheat, we can make pasta, we can make chapati, we can make all these things out of something as simple as wheat. And all this is the creation of the human mind, right? It's the creation of people who imagined and people who thought, right? And not just cooking, even something like oil. It was just somebody who discovered a viscous black liquid, and see where we are now. We can get gasoline, we can get cooking gas, we can get all of these things from just one thing, one product that people have shaped with their minds throughout the entire time. And it has become a very important part of humanity, right? So, with that said, wealth becomes the product of one's capacity to think, right? I tend to think like the more you think, the better it is, the more it is that you can become wealthy. The easier it is that you will become wealthy. Because as we said, your own mind and your effort is, your mind is what becomes the ultimate source of wealth. And then your effort becomes what other people trade for. So people will give you money for your effort. And what will create is your mind, right? Then money is made before it is corrupted. Yes. People say money is evil, but I tend to disagree, because I always think that money is a tool and money is neutral. Money is not evil and money is not good. Just like kisu ni tool. Kisu si kizuri na si kibaya. Somebody can decide to use a knife to cut vegetables, which is a good way of using the knives. And somebody can use a knife to go stab people, which is a bad way of using a knife. But does the knife change? No, the knife remains the same. It's just a tool. Same thing as money. Somebody can decide to use money to go do weird things, and somebody can decide to use money to feed the poor, or to do something charitable, or even to help themselves and fund their leisure, which is good, right? Then let's say you cannot consume more than you produce, and this means that you have to not be greedy. And I remember this one time I saw a TikTok of somebody saying that for somebody to con you, you have to be greedier than the con man. And this is true. Like, ndo mtu akuoshe pesa lazima ukue greedier than the other. Because what do you mean? Mtu anakuambia tukituma 3k utatumiwa 80k, and you go ahead and send the money. You have to be greedier than the con man himself for you to be conned. And that is more like the karmic way of us being reminded that, hey, you cannot consume more than you produce. Okay. And this also allows one to shift their mindset, because it lets you know that sasa juu sina pesa sahi haimaanishi I don't deserve money or I can't have money. It just means that just maybe I am not creating enough, I am not using my mind enough, or two, my effort is not enough, right? Or people are just not recognizing my effort, of which they will eventually, right? Next is money permits you to obtain for your goods and labor that what it's worth for those who buy them, right? So it allows you to, kitu yenye unafanya, you can always charge somebody for it, okay? And I have always said, like, do not be afraid to charge people. Do not undercharge people just because you want to be nice, or you want to keep customers, or you want to be seen as a good person. No, this is your energy that you're exchanging for money, and so it better be worth it. You better exchange it for what it's worth. Do not undercharge people. The same way you cannot consume more than you produce. It's an injustice to yourself to consume less than you produce. Okay, next is you must work for your gain and not loss. As I said, usiende kufanyia mtu kazi bure. Do not produce if you're not gaining, and the gain doesn't have to be monetary again, even if we are talking about money. But every time that you produce and you exchange, make sure you exchange. Make sure you actually exchange. Make sure it's not you giving for free. If you decide you're doing charity, fine, but do not go giving people your services for free. Do not go doing things for free. Yes, sometimes, like, you can do something for free because somebody has maybe offered you exposure, or maybe they are going to post your work and they have an audience and you're going to get more clients. That is value, right? So it's value for value. Okay, then in the same breath, nobody carries your struggles. Okay, nobody carries your struggles. You carry your own struggles. Kenye unapitia sahi, kenye mimi napitia sahi, I know that I can't put it out of my shoulders and place it on somebody else's shoulders. I know that not even my own mother can be able to carry my own burdens. So what do? I have to just soldier on and make sure that regardless of what I'm going through, I still show up every single day. I still show up as a complete, full person with value to offer to this world. Okay. Next is money demands you accept not the shoddiest they can offer, but the best your money can get. Okay, and that's what I was talking about, buying something quality over something cheap but less quality over something expensive that is more quality. And I learned this the hard way. I remember this one time I bought an extension, and that extension, the cord extension, that extension was worth how much? I think 450, and there was another one worth 550, and the difference is 100 bob, right? And I asked the owner, like the shop owner, like, what's the difference between the two? He said one has a fuse and the other one does not have a fuse. And me and my scarcity mentality, now see, I didn't have 550 shillings, I did, but my scarcity mentality told me, yay, we can keep the 100, wewe nunua for 50. And then I did. Extension, it lasted me 2 weeks and it blew up. And then I went again and bought the 551, and it has lasted years. So you see, like, I could have just bought the extension ya 550 once, and none of that I wouldn't have incurred the second cost of 550. Yani I was trying to save 100 bob. Na nikaenda loss ya hiyo 550 nyingine ya juu, right? The same way, like, do not, usihurumie mtu anakuuzia kitu ati sasa unataka kununua juu na mhurumia. No, you buy what value for value, the best your money can get. Ndo maana I love, like, the way our African mothers bargain, because they know the value of their money and they're trying to get the best from it. Au tenda hapa Gikomba unauzia mtu nguo ulichukua na 30,800, like, no, they know the value of their money. Na kama anajua this 300 is supposed to get me something like this, that is what they get, right? Next is money is a tool to take you wherever you wish, but it will not replace you as the driver. Okay, so you remain the driver of your life, and money is a tool. And it becomes very problematic when you reverse the roles, when now you become a brute who doesn't think, and now money is thinking for you. Oh, it's gonna be terrible. It's going to be bad. So for people who know how to get money and keep money, because those are two different things. You can know how to get money, but you don't know how to keep money. And keeping money is more difficult than getting money, right? And keeping money requires discipline, and keeping money requires somebody who is right upstairs, and somebody who knows that money is a bus, like, yenyewe inanipeleka mali nataka kuenda, but I have to be the person who decides where it is that I want to go, and I have to be the one driving to where I want to go, okay? Then money is also a means to satisfy your desires, but it refuses to provide you with desires, okay? So kama you don't have a clear picture of what you want and what it is that you want money to do for you, money will not come and think for you. Money will not come and do things for you and give you desires. No, money is just something that is meant to fulfill your desires. So you have to have desires before you can think of having money. You have to have reasons as to why you want money, right? You have to have the reasons as to why you're looking for money before you can get money, okay? Then money will not purchase happiness for the one who has no concept of what it is. And this ties in with the law of causality, cause and reaction. So money will not buy happiness. The same way people like money cannot buy happiness if you don't have a concept of what happiness is. But if you actually have a concept of what happiness looks like to you, money can buy your happiness, okay? But if you are expecting that at sasa ukipata pesa ndo utakuwa happy, if you're not happy inside, if you don't know what happiness looks like, then you will never be happy. Utakuwa tu natuambia, you will be one of those people who come here and tell us money don't buy happiness. Okay, money cannot give you a code of values if you evaded the knowledge of what to value, okay? Like if you don't know what it is that you need to value, money will not come and tell you, I value this, value this, value this, this is what you need to value, this is it. And that is why I told you, like, for example, imagine a dad who worked so hard and made a lot of money and became a billionaire, and then they have a son who is not trained on what, or a daughter who is not trained on how to run the business, on how the business works, on the partners and how to work with the partners and stuff like that. So if this father dies on a single day and now this child becomes the heir, the money is going to finish that heir, because that heir does not know what to value in that circumstance, in that situation. They don't know what their value or the value of their business is, right? So they will always end up sabotaging the business, and they will end up losing the money that somebody worked so hard to make, right? Next is people who attempt to buy the product of the brain to serve them money, and replace their judgment with money, become victims of their own inferiority. And that's the point. Like if you attempt, like at kama those people who have money but they want to, you know, mistreat people and get things done for a cheaper price than it should be. Like you want to purchase, let's say, something like respect with money. Somebody who maybe they are insecure and they feel very, you know, insecure in themselves, and they have money, and so they are trying to use the money to make themselves feel more inferior and feel like they have a word or they have a say somewhere. And that means they most of the time they usually end up becoming victims of their own inferiority. Like people who get scammed, we see how, because we are trying to, no, we have never gotten scammed. So people who get scammed, like people who you get, like you're trying to fill in a void in yourself that does not, like, huwezi replace your own morality and your own moral code with money. It will never happen. If people are not respecting you, there's something else. There's something that is in you that you need to work on that is not money. Money can never buy you respect. That's the whole point. Like, yes, people can be like, and that's the thing. When you are a loot, you attract looters. If you're a looter, you attract looters. If you steal money, you stole money, you attract thieves. If you make money by stealing money, you attract people who make money by stealing money, and they will steal your money. Okay? Next is you can't be smaller than your money. Venye tu nimesema, like you have to be greater in the mind. If you want, the more money, the greater the mind. If you want to keep it, as I said, making it singumu, but keeping money is hard. Rich people always say that. Okay. So money is our source of survival as it stands. As I said before, we used to have barter trade where if I had goats, I could go trade for a cow, right? But that is over now, and we went to silver and gold, and that is over now, and now it's money, right? But whether you like money or not, whether money makes you happy or not, it's your only source of survival. It's the only way you can have somewhere to live. It's the only way you can, have food. It's the only way. It's literally your only source of survival. So what do? Every verdict that you place upon your livelihood or your source of livelihood becomes verdict upon your life. Okay, so if you hate your job and you keep saying it, it's like you hate where you make money from. Then that means you hate your own survival and you hate your own life. And I always say the words that always come after I am. If I say I am smart, I am beautiful, I am educated, I am all those things. And it applies the same way if I say I am dumb, I am stupid, I am all those things. Your brain listens and it learns and it adapts and it becomes that. And it also applies to where you get your money, because tumetoka kusema it's our only source of survival. So if you keep talking bad about where you get your money and you're not happy with where you're making money from, then that means that's the same kind of energy that you're surrounding your life with, right? And money will not compensate for your lack of self-respect or let you enjoy your depravity. That's it. Kama umekataku, if you have refused to respect yourself and you have refused to value yourself and your energy and know that you are God and everything like that, money will not come and compensate for that. Now, if anything, it will amplify what already exists. And that is what, like, I was arguing with somebody and they were saying that money is evil. And I'm telling them, like, no, even the fact that, yes, money is a tool, but also money is as evil as the person holding it. Okay? Just as a sword is as evil as the person holding it. Next is money is an effect and refuses to replace you as the cause, right? You have to provide value that you exchange for money. So you are the cause. Wewe ndo una give the first impact. You're the one who is performing the Newton's first law of motion. It's the first law of second law of motion, that something that is in rest or in motion tends to remain so unless acted upon by an external force. So the same way, your financial status will remain the same unless acted upon by an external force, and you are the external force. You are the one who acts upon your condition, and you put something out and you're like, no, this is enough, I need a shift, I need to change, and you use your energy to put that cause, and then now money comes in as a reaction, as something you reap after you sow, right? The next thing is, to love money is to know and love the fact that money is the creation of the best power within you and your passkey to trade your effort for the effort of the best among men, right? So to love money, like, okay, somebody else might argue, well, maybe money is not evil, but the love of money is evil and it's the root of all. Yes. So I disagree. Because I feel like to love something is to cherish something, and it's, as I said, now to love money is to know and to love the fact that money is the creation of the best power within you. Like, the best power within you, is it your creativity? Is it that you can sing? Is it that you can dance? Is it that you can do maths? Watu washtuke? Is it that you can, whatever it is that you can do, the best power within you, it becomes, like, money becomes this career it becomes the creation of that, okay? And it becomes the passkey now for you to trade for other best things among men. Because, for example, it works like this, yeah? You see, the less money you have, for example, let's talk fashion. I'm not saying that high fashion things are okay, more quality than what other people get, but kama you have this amount of money, you can get some clothes, right? You have, if you can afford to spend, let's say 40k on a bag, and I can afford to spend 20k on a bag, I'm definitely getting less quality than you are, right? And let's not talk if I can only afford to spend 1,000 shillings on a bag. The quality will reduce, right? So if you love money, you know that money itakuallow to claim the best products in market, right? The same way, it's gonna be the reward for you putting out the best that you can ever create out there, right? Then lovers of money are willing to work for it because they know they are able to get it and they deserve it. And that's it. Now, when you love money, you know that when you actually get over that scarcity mentality, you know that you deserve money and you are able to get money. And that means that now you can go out there with this new mindset of, yeah, money is actually attainable, and it's not like it's something that is far out-fetched and it's out there. It's just create, get, right? Next is money is not evil, and you need to stay away from people who tell you that money is evil, because it's not. If it was evil, then it wouldn't be what is running the world right now, okay? Next is money demands so much value to make and keep. As I said, it's really hard to keep money. It's so easy, but it's easier to make money than it is to keep it, because then keeping it calls for discipline, and it calls for so much value inside, and it calls for you knowing your limits and for you stopping yourself. I remember when I had my first job, my second job, and I was getting paid weekly. I was getting like 3,500 a week. It was a social media manager job. It was a good job. I liked the job, but I was still struggling with scarcity mentality. So I remember I used to get the 3,500 on Friday, and I used to work from Tuesday to Friday. So I used to get the 3,500 on Friday or Saturday. And when I got the money, sikuwa najua venye inaisha within 3 days. Like, 3 days or 2 days. Like, I used to spend that money over the weekend. I used to take out that I would normally not take out. I used to do a lot of things like that were not even necessary. Now that I recount, I'm like, iyo pesa ilikuwa inaenda wapi? And now I'm just thinking, like, if I only saved 2k a week during that whole period that I had that job, I would be very far right now. All these dreams that I'm trying to fund right now, I will be able to fund them, right? So as I said, making money, whether it's small or much, hiyo yangu ilikuwa 3,500, but you can get somewhere where you're making, let's say, 300 Gs a week. And if you do not have the values or you do not have the discipline that it takes, you're going to spend your 300k within a week. Utaenda weekend, ununulia watu pombe, and that's gonna be your life, unfortunately. Next is people who apologize for being rich do not stay rich for long. So if you have money, do not be afraid to agree that you have money and to actually claim it. If you keep apologizing for being rich, the world is going to take away that burden that you hate so much. Your money is going to disappear. Okay, it's okay to be rich. It's okay to have money, and it's okay that you have it. Okay, just accept it. Usiende uki apologize because you're poor, you are rich, sorry, and you want people now to start seeing that, oh no, I'm just a normal person. No, you're not, and it's okay. You're not just a normal person, and it's okay, because you see, you're going to attract looters and thieves who are going to want to take that guilt away from you. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I hope we all change our minds around money. I'm still working through my scarcity mentality, and please guys tell me in the comments if you want me to talk about it in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you guys on the next one. Bye.